Alrighty, folks, the real estate market is clearly slowing down. Much of this is because it's entering winter months, but we can't forget about bad affordability, government shutdown, fears of layoffs hitting the tech sector. We're going to talk with Beth, a top 1% agent in the King County, and we're going to just have a real conversation. Have people forgotten how to negotiate? Yes, I'm talking about sellers, buyers, agents, sellers, agents. It takes a lot to get a 7-figure deal closed. Now more than ever. Beth, what is going on in the housing market? I bet it's a lot of chaos.
So there is a lot of chaos, and it's no news that it's been a tough market for a while now. And it just seems like as soon as we start, coming out of it, then some new curveball happens.
Smack.
I mean, we could probably rattle off 5 of them that have happened so far this year, and it's just one thing after another after another. It's a tough market out there. There's been fewer transactions, and we've talked about the numbers for years on here, but people are getting deals together. But my question is, have people forgotten how to negotiate? I see a lot of that lack of negotiation happening these days, and it's happened enough times recently between me and my team members and others we've seen out there that it just seems if you're going to get deals together, you got to be ready. And we've been doing really well, but it's been tough negotiations on every deal. And that just goes with the territory. You got to get good at it. You got to sharpen your skills. And I'm talking to, listing agents, buyers agents, the buyers, the sellers. You got to be in it to collaborate and make a deal happen.
Yeah.
Or think about if you're really up for this market. You may not be, and that's okay too. Maybe you wait it out. That's your alternative, is you get to keep the house.
Yeah, so. I love that. Again, the reality is not everybody has to sell. Some people want to sell, and maybe this is just not the market for you. So take it off and try again in the spring. But if you need to sell in this environment, and you're trying to sell in November and December, right? We're getting to the really slow months in a lot of the country, and it's really more than just the price, right? Mm-hmm. When you talk about negotiations, it's price, it's closing date, it's repairs, it's buy downs. It's all kinds of things that can go into negotiations. And again, what I would tell agents and sellers and buyers in this environment is, I don't know how to phrase this, but get ready to negotiate more than once, right? I think a lot of people think they quote unquote get into escrow and that's the end. And an environment like today, that is not the end.
Round one, or depending on how many rounds it took to get there.
Yeah.
So there's several. So oftentimes how it works, what I'm seeing is as I will from the listing agent perspective, there's people circling, asking questions, going away, coming back. And so that's part of the negotiation dance too, is just keeping in touch with them, luring them in, from the buyer's perspective, you're feeling it out and you're coming back around, seeing how's it going now? Oh, there's a price drop. Well, now we're considering it again, but maybe not sure. And then once they get to the table, there's going to be price. They may come in with a low ball. They may come in with a bunch of credits. They may come in with all of that. Part of my job is to not get emotional about it. So one thing I would say, agents, get out of your own way and let your seller make their own decisions with your guidance. So that's going to be looking at, advise them on what's going on in the market right now and keep them focused on the goal, which is wherever they want to go. This may not be your ideal offer, but it gets you to Arizona where your kids are by the end of the year. There's a path for that. And so let's see what we can do. And sometimes we'll try a low ball and you negotiate and they come back with something more reasonable. So now I'm talking about, I know we're talking to investors here. This applies to investors too, but also for people buying their own owner occupied home. But just stay calm about it and friendly to the other agent and keep it going, and once you get the parties agree with the agreement, then it's about keeping them invested, all parties invested in the deal, because once you have it signed and accepted, there's a degree of buy-in, earnest money's been delivered, money spent on inspections, etc. Buyers are invested at that point.
Yep.
And you need to keep them in it. And I advise my clients a lot of time, be ready for another, I'm seeing, it's not unusual to see $10,000 to $15,000 of additional credits come out as a result of the second round of negotiations. So just be ready for that. Factor it in, run the numbers. And then if they come in and it's only 5 or 6, it's like, oh, better than we thought. You know, keep people in it. So, and I had one recently, you know, where I was working with the appraisal came in low. So there's negotiations around that. I hadn't seen that in a long time. It's like, all right, we're getting all these things that, you know, back, I'm one of those people that I can talk about back in the day. And I know people hate hearing about, nobody wants to hear how long you've been in business. But I've been in it long enough that I remember when every deal used to be like this back in the day. And we just got used to it. You know, it's like, oh, the FHA appraiser says we have to fix this rotten board and clean out the crawl space. And you just went down there and figured it out, cleaned it out, painted the spot. Like, it's just eternal problem solving. I think a lot of folks maybe got spoiled, maybe got a little soft in the easy days. And some people weren't in business before that and don't remember how hard it used to. Remember short sales and those things, all that you're dealing with a bank that doesn't give
for a year
crap about if the deal closes or not. And you just got to stick with it. Like, what can we do to problem solve this weird random thing that happened in order to get the deal closed? Get the financing, get the, you know, the numbers to work, waiting for the response. And it's just unlimited the amount of random things that we need to solve as part of the negotiation. And then it's keeping people feeling good to get them across the finish table too. You know, there was that whole thing at the end of it where
I mean, that's an important thing. We have record cancellations, right? I don't know what it'll be for November, but for September, we had 15% of deals that went pending get canceled for lots of reasons: inspections, appraisals, just fear. You know, it's really funny you brought up people getting soft or spoiled. I think that's a lot of it, because what I'm seeing in the market today is kind of normal, right? We're almost back to our normal market, Beth. It's just that for 5 years we had an abnormal market. That's the problem. It's
some work to get it done, you know? And then, so one thing I wanted to mention about like the cancellations is, so I had 2 different situations where they're closed. These deals are closed now. I was a listing agent. We went through all these negotiations I'm talking about, and they were brutal, but we got it done. And then we were like moving on toward closing. And then I'm hearing down the line, hey, Beth, I think that these buyers want to back out, you know, or like, I just wanted to let you know before I send this bombshell over that they're talking about terminating the contract. You can kind of tell usually when things are starting to go down a bad road. Oh man, I don't think these buyers are really in it. Like, they're starting to feel their sense of, you know, their buy-in is fading, I would say, you know. And so in both of those cases, I was able to talk to them to say, hey, before you send that over, because once they send it over, it's done, you know, dead, and like legally it's gone. And so like, is there anything that could be done to help them feel better about it, where they feel comfortable proceeding?
Right.
And then I just take it to the seller, because you want to keep them in contract, you know, and then it's the decision for the seller to decide rather than the buyer. It could just go either way, right? But just keep people involved so that you can have some say in whether it's going to die or not. And so in both those cases, they said, well, we want extra credits, we want a rate buy down, and it's like, somebody could say, well, forget it, we already did all that and we're not giving you anymore. Like, that is an option. And you can go back on the market and do a $50,000 price drop in a couple of weeks, you know, or this could be done and you can close in 10 days and have your money, you know. And so it's just laying it out like that. Like, yeah, you're right. You know, maybe they shouldn't be asking for this, but they are. And the good thing is that it's keeping everybody in the deal.
Right.
And agents, don't start fighting. It's not about, your job is to get out of your own way sometimes and get out of everybody's. Let the clients decide what they're comfortable with. Because sometimes people, I can't tell you how many times people say, like, I'm not taking 1 penny less than this. Like, they can just go take a hike if we don't get blah, blah, blah. And just go, okay. That's how they felt at that time on that day, you know. But then you come back later and you're like, well, you know, I know you said that, but here's what this is. And I always give people their alternatives. Like, we can say no. And you agents have to be okay with whatever people decide. Like, it's always about what's right for the parties, you know. But if you want this to happen and get this result where you can be closed in 10 days and have your cash and move on, or keep carrying this house, maintaining it, all the other things, dealing with this all over again with another buyer at an unknown time down the road at who knows what price.
Yep.
Lay it out for them. But good news for buyers. Sometimes you can get a little extra. I've had that happen a few times lately where at the end they're just like, we feel like we just need a little extra. And it's like, you can get annoyed by that, sure. But then like have the conversation about like, what is it worth to keep everybody feeling good and in the deal? If it's not worth it, fine. You've made your decision, move on. But
it's all I'm hearing. This again is very much a normal market, certainly a normal winter market, maybe not a normal spring market, but certainly normal winter where it's slower. And, in an environment with this affordability and fear of layoffs, certainly again in tech, right? You're in King County.
Oh, yeah.
You got that fear. A lot of people are more skittish now than maybe they were 2 years ago for sure. And it's just, it's time for the good agents like you are to step up and do the right things. Most bad agents will see record cancellations because they're not having the conversation. They're not stepping in front of that bomb that you're neutralizing. And this is where the best of the best do their thing and everybody else, becomes a Starbucks barista. So, it's okay.
Yeah. And we've had one of my team members, what you said, I agree 100%. Like this is where the tough are going to do well and everyone else will fall aside. And, we had one of our buyers made an offer on a house recently where they asked for a rate buy down. And they actually offered full price with the rate buy down, which I think was maybe $22,000 or something. In our market, that's good, a good offer.
Right.
And the agent was like, no, I never heard of the, what is that? And no, we're not doing that. I'm like, really? It just feels like maybe you want to entertain that.
Yeah.
And here's a tip for a buyer. So if a buyer makes an offer that is a reasonable offer, but for some reason it just fizzled, resubmit it again. Like you can resubmit that offer even if they don't respond. You can still resubmit it. And I know that's one of your favorites is you circle back later and resubmit. You can do it in 1 day. You can do it in 2 weeks. You can do it in a month. But like resubmit.
Yeah.
And if they're being a jerk, you just rewrite the offer again and send it back over. And usually,
if they're being a jerk, I write it for $1,000 less. That's a jerk. That's a jerk tax.
Yeah. Right. I know. Ouch. But it's like, keep it going. And you as a seller can make a reverse offer too. Like you can write it out. Like if it feels it fell apart, but it shouldn't have, people oftentimes will think about things and want to come back. Yeah. You as a seller can resubmit an offer to a buyer if that buyer drifted away.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the money's made in the follow-ups. Yeah, made in the follow-ups. Good agents, again, are going to dominate. You're a top 1% agent for a reason. If somebody wanted to buy in King County or get a referral to another top agent across the country, what do they do, Beth?
Yeah, so my website, BethTraversogroup.com, is a great way to reach out to me on there through a contact me button. And I'm also easily findable on social media. And I do go into the school community there for one rental at a time too. So
thank you so much, Beth. You're amazing. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too.